with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know what you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys. You already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers whatever, live it. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Ginny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here is to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arararara, my name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Ika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz. The
Well, thank you very much for joining us. This is Newspaper Review. I am Moses Humphrey. Now, let's quickly take you to the papers. Well, I'm definitely not alone, not doing this alone. Chukwumakoro is very much with me here. Good morning to you once again. Once again. And here he's an analyst on this show. And we're also being joined by Lawale Kundayo, who is a farmer, an educationist, and a public affairs commentator. Good to have you.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Well, Barrister Darlington Nagoma will join the conversation in the course of it. But in the meantime, let's run to the dailies now. Let's look at the headlines from the dailies. We do have this day newspaper. These are the headlines on the cover page of this day newspaper. Makinde, Wike promising to hold down PDP, but Tinubu sparked our disagreement. Wike promising to hold down PDP for Tinubu sparked our disagreement. Says he regrets supporting President in 2023, but will not be supporting him for 2027. All right, that's the big story. And, well, let's start off with that story. And Chikuma will need to give his own view. And Lawal, we like your thoughts on this one before we get into other stories there.
Mm-hmm. It's getting clearer.
Is it?
Yes, it's getting clearer.
So now he regrets supporting the president in 2027.
You didn't see...
When that enabled him to retain power in his own state as well.
And he's losing everything. He doesn't... Yes, because one thing is this. When you are dining with the devil, your knife, your spoon must be very long. You get it? You must have like 3-4 eyes when you are dealing with people like this. Because they might want to stab you in the back. They might...
People like who, actually?
No, this crop of politicians.
In Nigeria?
Yes, this system of politicians that we have now, most of them, many of them are like that. That's why it's easy for them to decamp. Any small thing, they are no ideology, their selfish interest, what they have. Now, you put pressure on your state, you have issue with your state now. Things are dropping with the president, with so many other things. So look at PDP, they had to stand by, face him, because it is something they have to do now or never. Yes, and they have to do it. So whatever comes out of it, they are ready to, because without that party will never move forward. In fact, it will disappear, and then a job well done for Wike.
I have a feeling that Wike led PDP by the nose to do what they did, to cause more problem, because Wike knew that it would be difficult for the PDP to expel him. And it has proven that in the past few days to show that, look, has PDP actually expelled him? That is the big question. Has PDP expelled Wike? Because we have a situation where, as at now, the INEC that should be the arbiter is not even doing anything. But I also like the fact that George Amupitan, the INEC chairman, called a meeting of both parties to play some kind of what I call posturing to the public. This man is a senior advocate of Nigeria. He's a professor of law, and he understands clearly that what settled the PDP is not going to change. But the case that is in court is not a case that will determine the leadership of the PDP. It is a case that will determine the process, that led to a convention that has now been invalidated by INEC itself. So the whole issue of what Wike is doing, and I like to talk about Seyi Makinde and what he has. I like Seyi as a person. I used to think initially that Seyi and Wike were playing towards, the same goal.
So what has changed?
Now, what has changed is the fact that the revelation by Seyi Makinde that the president apologized to him for not appointing his nominee for ministerial position from Oyo State. Are you aware of that? Seyi has said, look, president called me to say, look, I'm sorry, I didn't appoint your nominee. Apparently, Adebayo Shitu was the president's nominee because the president wanted to use him to stabilize APC in Oyo State. And Seyi says, look, I told Mr. President, Bayo can't do that for you. No, sorry, not Bayo. Adelabo, the current minister of power. The Bayo, Adebayo Shitu is the former minister of communication, who now wants to be governor. And he's also having a running battle with Adelabo. Because when Adelabo said, look, I'm the anointed one, Adebayo says, no, you are not. Now, that said, for Seyi to have said, look, the president said, look, I'm sorry for not appointing your nominee as minister for Oyo State, clearly shows that is why probably he's regretting working for the president. Because the appointments came after the president had become president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In all of this, it's difficult for me to, when I said I used to think, it's still difficult for me not to think, because does Seyi want to be president?
Well, he obviously seems to want to contest.
But it's not about contesting. It's about winning the election. He knows that he cannot win the election.
So if he contests, he will be fragmenting the votes.
The votes
going to the south.
Of the southwest. But how long can he do that? I mean, how far can he travel in doing that? Not just fragmenting the vote of the south, trying to fragment the vote of the southwest. But the southwest, will not vote for Seyi Makinde in place of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's very clear. So when I put all of these things together, I keep going back to think that, look, both Seyi and Nyesom are just playing the same card.
Or maybe he's looking for something to negotiate.
Unintentional to what end?
Unintentional. Just to prove that, look, you didn't. I mean, going by what you just said, I was not privy to that information. But it could be saying, since you did not appoint my man, I will ensure that I reduce.
Okay, let me cause some kind of damage for you, political damage.
Yes.
No, what Obakinde is trying to do here is that, most politicians, they think ahead. Seyi Makinde still want to be relevant after a Tinubu presidency, maybe in Oyo State or elsewhere, or even in APC, because PDP, from the look of things now, is like a house that is divided against itself, so it cannot stand. So Seyi Makinde is going to step down for Tinubu when the chiefs are down in 2027. That is what is planned.
Step down for him onto what? As if he gets the PDP
so that his votes will go to Tinubu. Yes. I mean, has it not happened before?
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Does he need to, whether he steps down or not, the votes of the Southwest will still go to Tinubu?
No, but at least...
And if you say he wants to remain relevant, I mean, he can simply go to Senate. Does he want to become minister?
No.
Or what?
Under what? Under which party? This PDP that is already...
Okay, so what you are practically saying that the PDP will not produce any senator, no House of Rep member, or what, in 2027?
With what INEC has said, is that possible? It's not possible.
We're still like 18 months away from 2027.
What would they do to reverse it?
Okay, you think it's becoming irreversible?
When Wike have told you that he's holding that place for Tinubu till 2027, how will you reverse it?
No, that's what Seyi said that Wike said.
Because are you not seeing it practically? When somebody says something and you're seeing it practically, is there any doubt about it? PDP, it will take the power of God to upturn what is going on there today. And because it has happened before, so I am not in doubt that it will happen again.
Okay, so what you are saying is that Seyi's maybe senatorial ambition is already foreclosed because there is no PDP. He can go to another party.
Yeah, but if you talk of that, yes. So that maybe
I'm just questioning the relevance, that he wants to remain
because
relevant.
if Tinubu discover that both Adebayo and Shitu are going
to say, is it not INEC? Are you saying that you don't trust INEC to
which one
to deliver free and fair elections?
Which INEC? This INEC that
you have a new helmsman.
INEC. No. There's no difference.
Can we cut the man some slack?
No. I can't. How will I? Because you saw what happened.
Yes.
You saw what has happened so far. Without the election he conducted, does this man show that he's going to be his own man? This is a man who validated a PDP person in Ekiti State. Meanwhile, the national chairman, he does not recognize it. Please, how does that pan out? Look at the contradiction here.
Even when it was being cleared by the Senate,
I am telling you.
That really put everything off. Because he didn't tell us exactly what he's going to his plan, no policy. Somebody has to take a bow and go.
There's no direction.
So somebody is going to write the script for you.
There's no direction here.
So I don't really have. But this PDP thing, I like that move they are taking against Wike. Because one thing is this, that devil, you have to cross it and face it. If you don't cross it, it will remain like that forever. So the moment now he has a lot of he has a lot of orders to face. That is Wike. He has a lot. Now he's fighting. The grip on PDP, is lacking. So you need to tighten it more. The state, he needs to. So where are you going to? So his focus will be diluted.
Wike is not telling you that he wants to be president or whatever. He wants the party to be destroyed. So expelling him now is like pouring water on stone.
What I'm trying to say is that if they didn't expel him, he already know he has a good, he already has a hold on that area. Now that there are some rebels coming up against him in that area, we'll have to divert more attention to that area. Now, he will slack in some areas like River State. And when he slacks a little in River State, it will give the people in River State opportunity to rear their head a little.
Look, the purpose of Wike in PDP is to stop them from producing a presidential candidate. And he has succeeded. As I talk to you now, he has succeeded. Nobody in PDP or no politician will go and put his head and say, I want to presidential candidate of PDP. Nobody.
But they have options. They can move to another party. His work is not still. It doesn't because
which other parties will be so relevant now to challenge the APC?
So many. You know that one thing is this: the only thing I'm afraid of when it comes to election in Nigeria is the INEC. I did believe the INEC, is confident. We have confidence in INEC. Is it not people that will come and cast the votes? There are sympathy votes. There are people who they are not even part of your party. They don't even talk about it. They don't even come, but they will just come out and then you will be surprised the way they will vote and the trend of the vote will just go against you.
With this stomach infrastructure, people with more concern with their stomach than your vote. With the hunger in the land, the APC can buy anybody anything. All these governors that are jumping into APC, you didn't hear how much they were rumored to have collected. The rumor that they are collecting.
I like the fact that
but every rumor, now go and check that there's something there.
But do you think they can still not betray towards the end of the, by the time it's almost the election time? Or maybe even before that time,
after 2027, I don't like the trajectory we are traveling. There's one big mistake we always make, and we make the mistake of thinking that if there's a stable democracy, that will build a prosperous nation. But that is not true. There is no nation that has become democratic under poverty. The first thing to build is prosperity before democracy. Go back to European history. Everywhere you see prosperity now, it is the people that said, look, now we are able. We can feed ourselves, we can fend for ourselves. Let us now drive out the upper class and install democracy. Go back in history. So when we keep talking about, and we have a political class, hunger, if this hunger persists, it will only take the effort of the people, to build a prosperous economy. People will keep taking these handouts, and democracy will never grow until such a time that we have a prosperous nation. Then we'll turn on the leadership and say, look, enough of this. Go to the French Revolution. What was it all about? It was all about overthrowing, the upper class, the nobility and all of that, and say, we have to reject society, Feudalism, we end all of this. It was at that time that democracy, liberty started taking root. So let's stop making the mistake of saying that, with time, our democracy, when it stabilizes, it will never stabilize under this condition.
And that is why the nobility keep living in delusion. They don't learn from history. When they are up there, they believe that they are God, that there's nothing the downtrodden can do, that they can only make noise. Until that word, revolution, come into their mind, these people will never learn. There is go and check in history. The nobility never give up their position until revolution enter into the mix. That's when they will not know that, yes, the people are really angry. And I like the way these things are going, because one day, if this continues like this, one day, the people of Nigeria will rise up. That's the truth. They will definitely rise up.
All right, then. Let's move away from that conversation. Let's check out another conversation. This time around, going to the Guardian newspaper. There are lots of headlines here. I'm just trying to zero in on one, and then Insecurity, the making of Southeast ghost towns at dusk. That's a news analysis and an editorial there on the cover page of The Guardian. But then when you flip, you see the headline, United Nations decries industry boom as abductors collect, wait for it, 2.57 billion naira in 1 year. That's the estimated monies that Nigerians have paid to kidnappers.
Yeah, then we are making progress.
I hope they will.
Without
tax.
I don't think they captured everything.
Yeah, they didn't. But the last time we were talking about trillion, wasn't it?
Trillion.
And we're talking about 1.3 trillion.
They have not captured it properly.
With that tax reform affect them now, since money is flowing to that area and there's something.
I don't know because I mean you don't have a choice. You have to pay taxes. Everybody has to pay.
Who will collect tax from terrorists?
They don't know whether you're a terrorist or not. The moment money passes into through your account, they have your name. Your name is your team. They will just, they will just garnish it by themselves. Barrister.
Garnish what? Which court road? Which court?
I mean, they said that when the money gets a certain threshold, they will deduct so and so amount, irrespective of where the money comes from.
Anger them. If terrorists ask you to bring money, pray to God that 1 naira should not be missing from that money. That's just the truth. Because they will sit down there, they will count it. Abi?
This tax policy, I was just asking myself, this tax policy that is coming in, do you think that it is going to reduce our bankable options? Do you think that a lot of people, will start keeping cash?
Yes.
It's going to affect the cashless society.
Yes.
Because, I mean, any money that the moment you put the money into your account, the government with their periscope will look at it and say, oh, okay, it has crossed a certain threshold, so you need to pay tax.
What will happen is that much money will now be outside the money deposit banks.
The banking system.
It's interesting that you mentioned this. So let me just take the headline and then we'll continue. We'll just continue the conversation. So the headline is calls for suspension of tax reform laws intensify. The writers alleged forgery, treason against Nigerians, says Atiku, CNG, Yoruba, Ronu, address public trust concerns. EIE Nigeria tells FG. Tax reforms won't increase rates, will fix broken system. Oyedele insists. Now, let's continue the conversation.
So I'm just thinking, it took a very long while, for people to start leaving money in banks. You need to see traders.
People to be convinced
that you can put money in one bank, that you can put it in Owerri, in Aba, in Onitsha. Then you come to Lagos, a certain bank.
People were burying money in their houses at some point.
Yes, and some politicians still do.
Yes.
From what we see from social media.
Right now, many finance companies is going to spring up, and this humongous amount of money will now come into that mix.
Because which finance companies like what?
There was a time there was a finance house boom in Nigeria. 3 of us. What happened to them? All those money.
So, Barrister, what would they come to do? What would they...
Instead of going through that banking deposit and all that, and people monitoring your account and taking your money.
And how will you open accounts then?
Sorry?
How will you open an account?
They may have their own way. It's not a proper banking system.
But you must have either with your phone number or your name.
That's what I'm saying now. It's easier to do business with such this thing than with the normal banking system. That is deposit banks. So you can do business with these people based on what you are bringing in. You understand? You can discuss with them, and people will not go there to borrow money. The banks will be losing customers, whether you like it or not.
But I think the system has a way of connecting the whole thing. The moment you have your name, which has become your tax ID, you can't run away from it. It's like you can only run, but you can't.
Do you know what the people will be doing? What they will do is that, especially those small-scale businesses and some other, what they will do is that anytime they want to do business with you, they will tell you to pay them in cash.
Some companies already pay in cash.
Yes, company will start paying in cash.
Workers in cash.
Which is really dangerous.
Which is where we actually started from.
So we are going
because
back
my first salary is
were in cash.
Which is very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yes, we now see armed robbery and every other thing will now become rampant again.
If you check of late, armed robbers no longer, lock down a whole street and start robbing from house to house.
Because the monies are in the devices or
where is the money? So taking that risk is not worth it because nobody keeps money in the house. So, but if they now notice that people are no longer putting money, they will not be monitoring you.
And
whenever one naira enter, they will now blow their whistle.
Yes.
And before you know it, they will come into your house and say, "Where is that money?"
So might say rising.
You say, "Where is
that
money?"
aspect of it.
They will even tell you how much and all that.
Then these people, we will call them alajo, this CTC, CC, whatever. You know, yes, they collect money from you, help you save it at the end of the month or year. You give them their percentage, and then they will give you back your money.
I want to advise anybody to do that.
Now, when those people collect people's money, when they collect people's money and put it in the bank, and government remove tax from it, you know, the money will drop. How will they pay those people back?
No, they will pay from their own.
Their own profits. That's not even enough. They collect 5% now. Wait, they collect 5% from individuals.
Or you will add
no, what
tax
they
to whatever you're paying.
Those thrift people, the allowed.
No, what they do is if you are contributing 1,000 naira a day, after 30 days,
they collect 5%.
No, they collect that 1,000
naira. It's 1,000. Okay, even that is
any
even
amount you contribute. That is the amount they will take at the end.
Now that is even 10%, but the government will remove 15%.
So why would I now keep my money with Alajo instead of the bank? Either this microfinance.
No, it's even the operator. The business operator will
talk about microfinance bank. Government has access to your microfinance bank.
Yeah, because they are the one that sets it up. Yes.
Because they have your NIN, they have even your BVN.
But
the way the bank, I have always been of the opinion that it is shared responsibility. Unfortunately, Nigerians are able to keep their own side of the bargain.
While the government
doesn't. You know, it's difficult for the government. That is where the problem.
That is where the trust to come.
That is where the problem, trust problem
because
comes
like
in.
I keep saying,
because the way this government is very, very pushful, very forceful in trying to collect tax. They don't want anything.
So now that there is a pushback, do you think they'll put it on hold?
No, they said there's no.
No, the kind of pushback we have, is very feeble. It's very feeble. People are just talking.
No, look at why.
No, people are just talking.
Allegation of
even before you allegation, people are just talking.
Look at the problem here.
People are just talking. If they mount a kind of campaign that they mounted against fuel subsidy on the 1st of January 2012, then the government will listen. But it won't happen because of the quarters it is coming from. And I've always said, if you don't mount any pressure from Lagos and the Southwest, nothing will come out of it. If you try it in Abuja, after like 2 or 3, they will use water cannons and disperse everybody. Now, shut down Broad Street, shut down Marina, shut down International Airport and the NPA. Nigeria will sneeze. The federal government will listen to you. But it's not going to happen. We all know why it won't happen.
Unfortunately, they are going on recess. And they won't come back on the January 27th.
Which they can be called back at any point.
That's what I'm saying.
Which people have gone on recess?
The people that will power this thing now or will listen to you, is it not the National Assembly? They are the one to look into this.
So, the National Assembly, if you talk feebly the way we are talking, National Assembly will not do anything.
That is why they should go to court. Let the court to put an injunction. That is the only thing that will make it. It's a good court.
This same court.
This court.
Which court? At least go force.
It hurts that you don't have faith. You don't have faith in the National Assembly, you don't have faith in the courts.
When you file it,
we will now go to Supreme Court and God will now tell us something that we don't understand. We now start debating it.
NBA have taken the bold step to say, look, they should suspend. They should go further and approach
the president's handlers are telling you that this is noise from the opposition and that nothing will stop the.
They said it now.
The court will stop them.
This same court.
Which court now?
Nigerian court.
No, okay. Maybe Nigerian or future court.
Nigerian court. At least they will summon them. They will come to and explain their own part of the.
Court order wouldn't even stop it because they will just.
They will not even come. Even if court someone, they won't even come. Who can court arrest them? Who will arrest them?
Let it be on record, so that it will add to their infamy. Let it be on record.
Okay, let's take a few more headlines. Lawmakers okay old budget extension. Revised 2026 fiscal plan to 58.47 trillion naira. That's from the Guardian. There are riders to that story. Yes, okay. Reps pass 43.56 trillion naira. 48.31 trillion naira revised budget for 2024-2025. So basically, anyway. Another headline from this day says, Senate hails Tinubu's 58.47 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill. backs infrastructure, security push, passes 43.5 trillion naira, 2024. 2025 reworked budgets, extends 2025 appropriation to March 2026. So we're running
three budgets
into 2026.
It's a lie. It did not work. It has never
what do you
worked.
mean it will not work? It's been done already.
You have
This is not the first time.
It's on paper. In reality, it will not work because you have 70% that you are going to roll over into 2026. Are you going to add
They've
to
reworked 2025 already.
Look,
they've adjusted the figures.
But the 70% is still there, according to the finance minister. It's still there that he said that we are going to roll it over to 2026. So whether they work or not, the 70% is there outstanding.
So when you say it won't work, what do you mean? Is it that the money will not be released or what?
You need to finish the 70% that is outstanding before.
No, this is not the first time. Now we moved 2024 to 2025, and
that is why you still have 70% of 2025. So
but the year is gone, and you are saying it wouldn't work. If it worked in 2025, why wouldn't it work in 2026?
It will affect 2026 now because
the way 2024 affected 2025.
So what are you telling me?
So when you say it will affect, but it will be done.
But the question is it normal?
Of course, it's not normal.
So all this we are debating is like we are trying to, somebody is dying and we are trying to look at his headache. And his hand is moving. He's already dying.
We need to analyze the reason. Even
no, you know why? Because this analysis, this analysis sounds like it's okay, it happens, it's okay, but it's not okay. It's supposed not to have happened.
Do you know when this happened? Some of us raised alarm, but the supporters of this administration, they didn't even see any problem there. Now look at it. It's now staring us in the face. I wonder what those people will say now. That the country is running 3 budgets at the center. When Ningi said it, they almost roasted that man. Ningi said it, that even the budget they passed is not the budget that they are implementing. The man said all these things, but nobody took it serious. You can see now.
Very sir, when you say you don't know what the supporters of this administration will say, does it look like they care? People that support government, not just this government, people that support government will go to any length to say, look, even if they are dying in their numbers, people that support this government, they don't care whether Nigeria is making progress or not. The only thing they want to see is APC is in government, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in government, whether your budget performance is 70% or 80% or 90% or even 5%, they don't care. The only thing they want to hear is that, look, this government is in power. We had people do that for the PDP.
So the detriment
they don't care. That's what I'm saying. They don't care.
And it's true.
They don't care. People that supported the Jonathan administration were like, well, whether you like it or not, Jonathan is in government, PDP is in government, and we don't care. They'll continue to be in government until they were shoved aside.
Do you know the irony? When things now go berserk, when things now go south, the same people will come out and tell you that I did not support this government too. I did not vote for them. You can imagine. I did not vote for them. When you mention, say no, how can I support such a thing? Do I know him? I did not too. I don't. You can imagine. Very deceitful human beings. Very hypocritical human beings. The same people now that are telling you, they are the one who was carrying this thing in their head. Now look at it. Elon Musk and his group. Look at them. Mr. Kro, look at all of and they even got an ambassador appointment. So how can Nigeria move forward? Because when we talk, they will now try to rationalize it and say, it did not start with Tinubu. So if it did not start with Tinubu, therefore the infamy must continue. It will continue. Then why did you criticize PDP? Why did you criticize them? In fact, human beings are very terrible, seriously. That's why the Bible said that my people perish for lack of knowledge. When they are doing all this, they don't even think of the future implication to themselves and to their children. Because they need this in behalf for their children to suffer it. That's the irony.
It's terrible. So if we continue like this, maybe in 10 years we'll be running a budget of like 10 years ago in 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
I told them I told them on my show that if Tinubu wins and go, and then go into 2031, by the time Tinubu will leave in office, we will have 3 budgets lying idle that nobody have touched.
maybe like 6 because we already have 3 now. By the time we had another 4 to lose,
it's more than
7.
possible from the way we are going. We have 3 budgets.
And we keep talking about this infrastructure thing, and we have a Minister of Works, David Umahi, who keeps mounting his excellence, the work he has done nationwide and all of that. In the past 3 or 4 days, people have been sleeping between Shagamu and Onitsha on the road.
Of course.
Morning and night. The roads are, traffic gridlock. Professor Pat told me was caught in that web, and it's out there in the internet. People, a certain couple, were attending couple was attending their wedding, and they got caught in that gridlock, and they said, so what are we going to do?
They went on the road.
They went on the road. And we have a Minister of Works who keeps saying, look, we have done 60% or 70% of what we promised. When did you do the work?
I wonder.
It is not as if it is different between Bini and Auchi. It's not different. In other parts of the country, it's not different. Federal roads.
This is why I've told people, all the people that are suffering on that Shagamu or please take pictures so that tomorrow they'll not come and tell us that those roads, no, some people, some naughty opposition member, they copied it from Rwanda or from Somalia, that road is not a Nigerian road. They just posted fake things. It's not that. Please make sure you send that into Umahi. Let him see what people are going through. All of you on that route now, take the pictures. Send it to the presidency. Let them see. Because if you are talking of priority, Mr. Ogoro, that road is the busiest in Nigeria at about this time.
Yes.
It's the busiest. It's the busiest. So, do you need anybody to tell you to repair that road? For economic progress, you spend 3 days on a trip that doesn't want to last for 12 hours. 3 days. And you see there. Meanwhile, they concentrated on the Lagos Calabar coastal road.
You know the funny thing? As people are on those roads, we still have people who are taking off. People that have taken off this morning.
Of course, so it just adds to the
gridlock.
They are not praying that that's what they are praying. Because it is inevitable that they must travel. It's like these people wedding now. With their wedding in Lagos,
and it's not as if airfares are helping. 600, 700.
Look, they were playing the hike in transport fare, 70,000 and all that.
How about the trains?
But consider what they are going
from
through.
Way to way. There is no rail line from the west to the east.
I am telling you, these are important areas that you should pay attention. Put all these rail lines.
The one that moved from Abuja to Kaduna, is it working?
I thought there's one from Edo to the east. I think they were.
When I was discussing,
I was saying something like there's one from Edo to the east.
Which Edo?
Where is the Takpe rail line?
Look at it for this thing now.
It's for the Edo.
Where you supposed to put this rail line? You did not put it there. The Igbo man travels a lot. Everybody knows this.
Everybody travels.
Now
the ones and built one from Katsina to Maraba in
I said the Igbo man travels more than any other ethnic group in Nigeria because they are business oriented. That one is a fact. So you provide those things that will enable them to do their business. What is wrong with that? Who uses buses and all that? Is it not the Igbo man? Because of his businesses. You provide all those things.
Barrister, everybody, Nigerians.
I said more.
Barrister, don't qualify. Don't qualify. Everybody travels.
On this.
No, you don't have any statistics to show.
There is a statistic that shows that the Igbo man travels.
Barrister, no, let's move out.
Maybe at this time of the year. I mean,
Nigerians travel. Barrister, we need to fix the roads. We need to fix the rail lines, even the airlines for every Nigerian.
Another thing is this, we still have this waterway so that can connect from Lagos through the eastern part to the farthest corner, and it's not developed.
When you come to the Igbo man, people want to pretend as if that.
Nobody is
pretending. Hold on, I'm coming now. Let me finish. Everybody want to pretend to be patriotic, to be untribalistic. But how many times have you tried to pamper the Fulanis and their business?
Barrister, I was the one that raised the issue of no rail line between the West and the East. I was the one that
so
said
I'm
it. You
trying to highlight it. You are telling me
what
this.
are you highlighting?
If you can give a priority to Fulanis and their business, why can't you give a priority to the
Is it you that gave them priority?
That's me.
That's what I'm saying. The government now. The government. Yes, that's what I'm saying. But don't try to whistle it down and see if it does not matter.
Barrister, as a matter of fact, everybody travels. As we speak
travel
now,
more.
people are leaving the
They
southeast
should give us that
to the
priority.
north. You know, people that northerners, westerners that live in the southeast are also traveling back.
I said more.
Somebody who travels to Calabar or Cross River.
Business oriented.
Wait, Mr. Barrister. Somebody who travels from Lagos to Calabar or Cross River, are you saying that person is Igbo?
A Cross Riverian, Abi?
Yes, but what I'm saying that he passes through the same route. That the Igbo man that is going to the east will pass through. That doesn't mean.
Hold on. Is it the fact that the Igbo man is business oriented?
Let's move away from that.
Everybody does business.
Everybody oriented. Is it not movement? Is it not
Everybody travels.
Even the northerners travel.
Let's get into
I know
other
you will not agree, but I'm insisting that you people must agree.
We are not disagreeing.
I'm doubting you.
Barrister, can we just do this? Okay.
You have not New Year festival for us here. You are talking. See the way you speak Igbo like
it's voice of the people, and we represent Nigerians at large. Yes, Nigerians at large, not a particular set. Okay, well, let's talk about some other headlines here. Aisha warns Tinubu against Buhari's mistake of retaining underperformers, and this warning comes in the book.
Warning and
Soldier to what's the name of
We're already doing it.
Okay, the Soldier to Statesman. That book written by Dr. Charles Omoli. In that book, she said, look, she argues that a mix of aging, fear of public perception, and emotional manipulation by close aides stopped Muhammadu Buhari from enforcing performance standards. And according to her, the former president's hesitation was rooted partly in sympathy. She says, as you age, performance changes, she says, noting that Buhari often felt sorry for appointees who were struggling in office. So she's advising President Tinubu not to do same. If they're not performing, change them.
Look at that headline. ICPC's card exposes widespread failures in federal.
We haven't gotten to that headline. Let's talk about this one.
Okay.
I am not interested in what she's saying. Let her speak for herself. When the husband was around, was she not?
She ran away. She ran away. Why didn't she advise her?
Probably was chased. Probably was chased.
No, she should have come out.
She could have spoken that time. I would have respected her.
So leave all this. They're telling
Speak
me
against her husband?
that she died.
No, advise her husband. Not speak against her.
Do you know if she?
But she didn't
He
do
will tell
public.
you in public. He will tell you public.
Because Buhari was very fond of that was the other room.
The other room.
Buhari was very fond of the other room.
Who told you that he was even going there in the first place? Is that not why the woman left?
But he used to say.
When nobody,
even in France, when he went to France, he told the world that I told my wife that your place is in the other room.
But okay, he hardly go there.
All right, this other headline. I hope we don't get to argue.
You were living with them.
I hope I don't reignite the argument. That we just left now. Reading this headline: Federal government orders road contractors to remain on site during Yuletide. Directs NNPCL to offset 263 billion naira owed contractors. Now, let me just go a little into it. The Minister of Works, Chukwuma's friend, Dave Umahi, has directed contractors working on Abuja, Lokoja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kefi, Makurdi, and Abuja-Kano expressways not to close their sites during the Yuletide without the approval of his ministry. The minister also directed the contractors to exit all previous agreements, including those involving Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, tax credit contracts inherited by the federal government before they would be considered for payment. Umahi also announced that the federal government had directed NNPCL to pay the sum of 263 billion naira to contractors, stressing that the volume of debt owed to contractors from 2023 to date stood at 2.13 trillion naira. And the payments would only commence once the figures were clearly confirmed. Okay. Does this assuage your trouble?
No,
it doesn't.
Fears?
And I didn't hear Shagamu, Biniore, and Asaba. I didn't hear that route. And that is that route that is causing problem now. Go and look at all these other places mentioned. Look at the traffic there. Compare it with this other one. That is how to measure the usability of any road. You pay priority attention. That's why they say you put priority on the one that are in high demand. Is that not what I said there that Okoro didn't want to agree with me? Look at the traffic in these other places he mentioned and look at the traffic here. So where are you supposed to pay more attention to?
Barrister, that was not your point of argument.
What is my point of argument?
Just go ahead.
I said they should provide this route with a train ride because of the heavy traffic. What is wrong with that?
Barrister, nothing is wrong with that. But you want to distort the argument. Now, don't go back again. Now, you see this administration. This administration will keep running from pillar to post, from post to pillar, till it ends in either 2027 or 2031. When I traveled to the east in November and I saw the level of work, ongoing in that road, and I knew that there would be bedlam in December. I saw this coming because as at that time I left Lagos around 7 in the morning, 7 a.m. and I didn't get to Enugu until past 10 in the night. So practically I spent about 15 hours on the road. In ordinary time.
That's what's Enugu.
In ordinary time. So you can imagine if I was going to my village.
So if you were going to Calabar, it would have been worse.
I mean, no, Calabar is in South. I'm talking, if I was going to my village that borders Akwa Ibom, that empties into the ocean, it probably would have been like about 24 hours or so. So I saw this coming. Why? Because the federal government, and they didn't take care of critical points.
I'm telling you.
The Benin bypass, that takes you out of Benin City, into
the southeast proper.
Into the southeast proper. They left that road to go Comatose. And as at that point, there was no remediation. So when we got into Benin, they told us, look, we got information, don't even try the bypass.
Because of armed robbery?
No, not because of armed robbery, because of the level of traffic there already.
Okay.
It was still daytime because of the level of traffic there. So we had to use Benin. And when we got to Ramat Junction, when Okpobolo is building his legacy flyover, we stayed there for about 3 hours within Benin City. You can imagine what will happen now. I'm telling you, that was in November, ordinary time. Early November, not even middle or end of November, early November, ordinary time. So this government, and now you now begin to question the propriety of having to invest so much money on the Lagos Calabar.
I am telling you, what is
when the internal roads, you cannot fix them. The roads that take people, from one part of the city, from one part of the state to the other. If I leave Lagos and I have to go to Abia State, I have to pass like 9 states. Now, in those 9 states, you cannot drive a stretch of like 40, 50 kilometers without a bad portion of it. I'm talking about federal roads. And you're building a coastal highway to impress you.
I wonder.
And another thing about that coastal road is that it's just in one section. That coastal road, you can't take your vehicle cannot divert into the ocean. It can only go left.
Well, of course.
But these other ones can go left, right, and whatever. You can get to every other corner. Exactly. So you can have a lot of bypass in that area. So, but this coastal road is supposed to be something like an alleviation. It's something to assist the major fix the other roads. But not concentrated on that. I was wondering, okay, with all this big trillion spent, that's shrouded in we don't even know. Now you have just one section. It can't take somebody to the north. That road can't take you to the middle.
No, they are building a Badagry Sokoto.
I'm not talking about the Calabar road.
This other one, if you want to access it from Lagos to Ibadan, you can divert to any other part of the country. True.
Meanwhile, we have an original east-west road. That moves from that is also comatose, dilapidated. And we had a Jonathan from the South stay for 6 years in office. He couldn't fix it.
I think there's,
we have a lot of
something wrong with Southerners. Whenever they get into office,
all right,
they don't want to please their
Moses, sorry, before you continue, just a minute.
Okay.
For Buhari to build that railroad
from
I mean, to another country, then that means the whole road in Nigeria has been fixed. That means we have railroad across. There's no other problem. That's why he was able to do that to the other area within that short time. But for him to put that priority there, and this other person comes in, he doesn't even, he's doing his own entirely.
Okay, let's quickly. I know there's a headline here that you're interested in. I hope you can give us your analysis in the limited time that we have.